Hello, I'm just out having a little recovery jog in the local area that I live, and I'm wearing my Montane Minimus stretch ultra jacket, and I've had this jacket for just over 6 months now. I've worn it on 2 ultra races, a mountain marathon and lots of other trail races as well, so I feel like I'm in a position where I can share with you the things that I really like about this jacket and some of the things I think maybe that are not so good. Oh, got a bit wet there. Now what I'm not going to do is go through all the specs of what it's made out of, etc. That doesn't really interest me. It's about how it performs. But I have put a link down underneath this video if you want to have a look on the Montane website. You can find all the technical specifications and stuff there if you want them. To start off with then, what are the things that I like about this jacket? Well, first up is just the feel of it. So it's quite a nice soft material. It's not like one of those cheap like crinkly waterproofs that you can get that I've had before. So it feels quite comfortable on. It's also really lightweight. I think it's less than 200 grams. And it's quite a close fitting jacket, hence the stretch, I suppose, ultra stretch on the name of it. So it does feel quite comfortable to wear. Now along with that, really lightweight, it's also very packable, so you can pack it up into one of its pockets. So if you're doing something like a long distance run or anything like that, it does take up very little space in your rucksack or in your waist pouch if you're going to use one of those. So I'm just going to have a little walk here because I want to talk through some of the features that I really like on the jacket. And first of all is the zips. I think the zip's really good. It's dead easy to use. You can kind of use it one-handed, as I'm using here, if you needed to, but I've not had any issues there with the jacket snagging at all. And it's also got like a little toggle on the front, which means it's easy to use if you've got gloves or even in cold weather. So I really like the zip. Let's see the cuffs. So the cuffs work really well now. I've got really thin wrists. What sometimes I've found in jackets in the past that aren't very adjustable, if it's raining really hard, I get a lot of water running down my arms. This has kind of got elasticated cuffs, and that seems to work pretty well. So I like those. Just put the hood up, and the hood's quite a nice close fit. And it is adjustable as well here, so if you want to pull it really tight, you can do. So, for example, the last weekend's race that I did, the mountain marathon I did, where it was really windy, I found that when the hood was up, even if it was really windy, it stayed in place. I had no issues with it. The only slight issue with the hood, I would say, is that it has got a peak on it, a wide peak on it, but if you get a lot of rain coming towards you, it's not going to really protect you as a proper wire peaked hood one. But then a lot of people run in caps anyway, so that's not an issue. Now with a lightweight jacket like this, you're not going to get lots of adjustment, and as I said, it is kind of quite tight fitting, but you don't feel restricted in it at all. The range of movement's actually really good, and if need be, you also have got on the bottom some adjustable tags on the bottom, so you can pull it a bit tighter or let it out a bit if you want. But it is a really nice comfortable fit, for either walking as I'm doing now or running. Yeah, really nice. What you also get with this jacket, which is surprising for such a lightweight jacket, is you do get 2 really good pockets, quite big pockets as well. I mean, I can fit with glasses in easily, bit of paper there. I can fit my GoPro in it if I need to, phone in it, map or gloves. The 2 pockets on it are pretty generous as well. Not fully waterproof, of course, but still pretty generous, I would say, for a jacket of this weight. Now, the final thing on my good list would be the durability of the jacket. So I had a look at the inside of the jacket before it came out. It still looks virtually as it did when it was brand new. And the outside of the jacket as well, you know, despite having, as I'm doing now, you know, going through lots of trees, no signs of any snags on the jacket or anything like that at all. So in terms of durability, also, well, by the way, of course, you know, we're carrying, you know, running packs as well. No signs of any issues at the moment in terms of durability at all. I managed to pick this jacket up for £85. It's got well, a recommended retail price of £170, but it seems to me that there are always usually discounts on this jacket kicking about, so you can pick one up at a much cheaper price than the recommended retail price. Quite a few positives then for this jacket in terms of its fit, how it feels, number of the features that it's got on it. Yeah, a lot of positives, but now I want to just kind of give you an impression of some of the things that I haven't quite liked so much about it, and we're going to do that in the context of previous jackets that I've had. So when you're running or even backpacking and exercising really hard, obviously you're going to sweat a lot, and the claims of breathability in terms of this jacket, well, I don't think it's brilliant, to be honest with you. I mean, you have to accept that when you're running or backpacking, you are going to get wet on the inside, but it's always for me been about how comfortable you feel when you get to that stage, when you are wet on the inside. And I think whereas breathability wise, this jacket is probably a bit better than your, you know, plastic bags, shall we say, plastic bag type jackets. It's nothing like as good as the previous jacket I had, which was a Gore-Tex shade dry jacket. I mean, the breathability on that was absolutely unbelievable. You know, by far the best jacket I've ever had, but unfortunately it wasn't durable. This gets nowhere near that level. So what I found on some occasions is that obviously when you're working hard, building up a sweat, I do feel quite clammy in this jacket. I don't like feeling clammy, because when I get clammy I feel kind of a bit more fatigued and tired for some daft reason, I don't know why. So I do feel clammy in it, and even now, just having a little gentle jog around here on a, you know, very humid, cold autumnal day, I'm starting to feel clammy on my back, and I've only got one shirt on the inside, just a little running shirt underneath, which I wouldn't have had on my previous jacket. And what I've then found that can happen, and it's happened on a couple of occasions, is obviously when you're wet on the inside and you stop exercising at the same rate, let's say you've been going up a hill, flattens out at the top, you start to cool down. And there are some times wearing this jacket, thinking on one of the ultra runs that I did, where I did get a bit chilled, you know, as a result. I had to kind of stop and put another layer on. You know, it's not a major problem, but yeah, it's just to be aware that the breathability is not going to be good enough to stop you from getting wet and perhaps cold on occasions. Tied in with that is how this jacket wets out, or seems to wet out fairly quickly. Now, obviously all these jackets come with a DWR coating, but any of us who've had jackets like this will know they seem to have a very, very limited life. And I found that this jacket does wet out really quickly. Even today on my arms, it's only a little bit drizzly. I can see it kind of wetting out on my arms. And I've only just reapplied some DWR, you know, before my race last weekend. So I found this jacket does wet out really quickly. And when that happens, forget about any breathability. You know, it's just not working at all. So again, can add to that clamminess and feeling of getting cold if you aren't careful in, you know, really wet conditions. However, let's be clear about this. This jacket is waterproof. and remains waterproof when it's even wetted out. The only slight issue in terms of that I've had is when I've had some really driving rain coming to my front on, there is some of it that gets through the zip, which I kind of suppose is to be expected. I think these zips are meant to be water resistant rather than waterproof, and they've got no storm flap on them, as you might get on a, you know, more typical heavier weight jacket. Now, I don't think I'd recommend or I'd use this jacket for backpacking. It's not quite got those features that I'd want, you know, in terms of having a proper hood, storm flap on the zip to make sure no water gets in there, something that's a bit more adjustable, something that's not quite as close fitting. So for me, I wouldn't use this for backpacking. So would I recommend this as a running jacket? I think yeah, probably would, yeah. There are a lot of good things about it, as I've described to you. And I think for under £100, it's probably pretty good value, and I can't think there's anything much out there that's going to be better than this for that price. But as always, I'd be really interested to hear anybody's comments or thoughts on the whole running jackets, what's out there, what's good, what's not good. So if you'd like to share anything, please do in the comments. And yeah, that rain's getting a little bit heavier. I think we're going to have a nice little jog back home. Thank you for watching.